Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, the Russians are asking people to come for some questioning, if you know what I mean. They invite them. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda, October 18th, 2022. Russian occupiers abduct 2 officials from Zaporizhzhya Nuclear Power Plant. Oops. Abduct, like the UFO, aliens came and abduct. The Russian occupiers have abducted employees from the Zaporizhzhya Nuclear Power Plant. Once again, they detained 2 plant officials and took them to an unknown location on 17th of October. Well, let's see. Why would they take them? To ask them a few questions, I guess. So let's see. The abducted employees are Oleg Kostyukov, head of the Zaporizhzhya Nuclear Power Plant IT service, and Oleg Oseka, assistant to the Zaporizhzhya Nuclear Power Plant Director General. Well, the IT guy. Why do you think the guy was... Come over here, we have something to tell you. The Russian occupiers have abducted employees from the Zaporizhzhya Nuclear Power Plant again. Well, these are the ones. So, and it said Energoatom added, this is the company, that their location or condition remains unknown. The company appealed to Rafael Grossi, Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, and the international community to take all possible measures to obtain the release of the ZNPP's employees from captivity and facilitate their return to the performance of their duty. Well, the Russians occupier abducted. They will be released. On October 1st, the Russians abducted Ihor Murashov. It was reported that his location was unknown. He was released by the Russians on the 3rd of October. So just take it easy. You're going to be released. Now, setting joke aside, the thing is, these guys, which is the Russians, took over that plant. However they did, let's go and discuss the facts. Like it or not, they took over that plant. They let the personnel being Ukrainian and continued to operate that plant for Ukraine. Now, if there were be criminal, as these guys in the West and Ukraine portrays Russians in their entirety, then these guys would have just killed everyone over there on the spot and shut the plant off, or make them shut the plant off and then get them out, get a bulldozer and that's it. Right? That would have been the expected behavior according to the picture portrayed or painted by the mass media in the West. Well, they didn't do that. And you will say, well, wait a second, they needed that plant. Okay, all right, they needed it. But criminals and people like these guys are portrayed like that, they just kill indiscriminately. They have no logic, they have nothing. You're not going to tell me they're smart now. Because you're going to say, well, they're smart, they know their interest. Well, I think Russia and those, areas, territories they took over, they can manage with the Russian energy. They can do that. Well, it takes time. Okay, then we do like this. We take the Ukrainians and we bring the Russians. Kick the Ukrainians out and bring the Russian personnel. Or in the parallel, learn about, besides the fact that the Russians are not idiots, it's not like they will not know how to operate that. After all, it was built by what? Soviet Union, I guess. So anyway, they replace the staff and not abduct and release. Abduct and keep, if you know what I mean. But they didn't do that with the first one. I'm not saying that's, how should I put it, okay. But I don't know if the IT guy, especially the IT guy, has certain connection, information, does this and does that. I don't know about that. But I would not only suspect, I know that that's a basic procedure. When you go and you conquer a territory, you put in positions of power and control your people, your men. They will be in control. You don't leave the other ones. They're a liability. So here they're still operating with the Ukrainians. So I don't know if those guys were trying to get information out, report certain situations over there. I have no idea. Or the Russians are just harassing. Now, if the Russians are just harassing, why don't they just do what I just said they should do? They should do if they were like in the manner they were portrayed to be. That's the same thing as happened with some other armies in the past, where it didn't make sense. Yes, there are people who are criminals, that's true, but then don't portray the whole, use a brush for everybody. So these guys were taken for a little conversation, and I don't know if they're going to be released or not. To be honest, either way, for me, it's not going to be a surprise, because that's what happens in a war, good or bad. Some people disappear, you never hear from them. You hear about these guys disappearing, maybe you're not going to hear from them again. It's very possible, it's probable, not probable, I would say 20% probable, maybe not even, and possible, go 50-50. That's how I would go. It's possible, or 100% possible, because the Russians can do that. It's a possibility. And if we judge the situation according to the information we got from the free mass media, then it's very possible and very probable that these guys will never show up again. But I don't think the Russians have any interest in doing that. They're going to ask them a few questions, incentivize them a little bit with some elbows, and then release them back. What are they going to do? Just to kill them? Well, okay. If they kill them, what can you say? They killed so many already, so what, are you going to call them triple criminals? So, I don't know. I'm glad that the power plant is still functional, and they allowed the Ukrainian personnel to work over there and make sure that everything is operational. As I said, they could have been just done bye-bye and we don't care, but they didn't do that. I didn't hear anything lately about the bombardments, so I don't know what's up with that. All of a sudden the Ukrainians were pushed too much far away, too further back, or what? They don't have any ammunition, or they receive an order to cut the crap? I'm not certain. And the Russians had no intention of doing what? If they wanted to blow that up, they could have blown it on the 5th or 7th of March when they took over it. So that's another stupidity. Now, do they use that as a shield? Could be. Could be, but I don't know. And coming that from the Ukrainians, slash it. And why? Because that's the way the war is conducted by humans. Anyway, I hope those guys will be okay, and probably in 2 days they will be released alive, because it matters how you're released. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.